Our understanding of the Maya and the sea has been revolutionized over the last few years because of new insights into Maya writing and into Maya imagery, such as you'll see in this show at the Peabody Essex Museum.
Today we recognize that the sea was central to not only the daily life of the Maya from an economic standpoint, but much more so from a cosmological one, and that the Maya had a more holistic view of water in general.
The sea was a place associated with cosmic cycles. It was a place from where the sun came and where the sun went. The sea was also a location from which ancestral presences would rise. They'd float up, we now think, in the form of clouds, and then would descend as hard-driving rain to fructify crops so that the Maya could feed themselves.
When it rained and when clouds came overhead and the rivers that flowed near them, they viewed them all as interconnected in a manner that was somehow infused with the spirits of the sea and the forces that controlled their lives. There are images of creatures that came from the sea and birds that live on the water and water lilies and all of these disparate little elements that are filtered throughout Maya art, objects made out of shells, images of sea creatures painted or sculpted. Their origins came with the sea and the creatures that lived within them.
They had this fundamental notion that the Maya world is as a giant turtle floating on a primordial sea. The turtle here is not some everyday turtle floating in a pond. This is the cosmic turtle on which all of us float.
We've known for quite some time that the Maya engaged the sea on an economic level, that they were seafarers to a certain extent and acquired goods from the sea itself and from lands beyond the Maya territory. The exhibition isn't merely about the mechanics of Maya trade, but it is about the way the Maya viewed the watery world and the way voyaging for the Maya was one of a cosmological nature, was one that defined who they were as a group. The Maya didn't just navigate rivers and streams, but navigating the cosmos was actually an important element of their story of birth and death. Water is the place where Maya ancestors lived and all people would die and go to in order to be reborn. Rivers and streams and lakes and sinkholes that connect the land of the living to the land of the underworld, and also the very clouds and the atmosphere which foster daily life.
Throughout all of this, the Maya were also very interested in the movement of the sun. They knew very well that the sun would rise in the eastern sea. It would rise as a fiery orb, and eventually would pass overhead, and then would set in the western seas, also in fiery circumstances as a fiery orb.
A lot of the objects that tell us about the importance of the sea to the Maya are actually some of the finest works of Maya art. And so for the sea to be represented in some of these great masterworks, the power of that message shouldn't be lost on us today.
With this set of objects in the show, the Maya give us clear evidence and testimony that they saw this as an interconnected world, and that is the lesson that we should draw from these materials as well.